Hello everyone and welcome back to Victoria 3. Glad you're still sticking around, glad you're still liking it. I'm definitely enjoying it. And yeah, we are back here in Virginia, where we have this industry there that we can see, the smoky industry. Iron mines have been finished, more of them here now with our construction. We're still using slaves as a workforce, so I hope that this is going to change now as we are getting closer to the checkpoint for abolishing slavery. And holy cow, radicalization level is now really high for the southern planters. They're not that strong, so we don't see a force yet, but hopefully we can really push it through. 64% chance. It should work. No, it did not work again. It's incredible. I mean, I've tried it a few times before this Let's Play, and it always worked at some point. It's not working still. We got 79% now chance. So it is advanced. It has advanced, right, by 15%, but it's still not secure. It's still continuing for another 180 days. This is nail-biting. I have no idea why it's taking so long, because a lot of things depend on that, and we need to finish it. Let's continue. We have some more colonization. We started lots of colonization in the last episode, right? So also here in Africa, where we don't see really that much success yet. So it's taking time. 600 days each there, so we're not fast with that. And who is uprising against us? The Iron Confederacy. It's a chiefdom. Where are they? Oh, they're up here. Oh, it's this one. Can we take the whole thing at once? They're uprising, all right. We should join, right? We should join into the fun here. We do have some 13 battalions waiting, and 5 of them are in Dixie headquarters. So let's get over there. It's a very small front, so we should easily do this. Let's also get the second general in. I'm not going to mobilize all my forces. 2 generals should be fine. It's costing me after all, right? So for every mobilization that you have, you pay a pretty hefty amount in military wages, which is going up. This is definitely going to lead to war here, so there's not a lot we can do. The generals are getting over now to the front. Going to take another 20 days for all of them to arrive, and that should be it then. Faith and reason. Disagreements between the evangelicals and the intelligentsia are causing conflicts in government. 25% reduction in authority. This is something I cannot do. The evangelicals, I'm probably going to... Yeah, superstitious nonsense belongs to the past. We are at 20 with them, so they will not mind. And a small group of people have been caught instigating a slave revolt in Maryland. However, local slaveholders believe this to be a sign of a much wider reaching conspiracy. Yes, of course. Such ruthlessness would be better applied to exorcism, exorcising your own demons. And we boost basically everything except the southern planters. And really, I don't care about them anymore. So this should really be over then. And I don't think we are going into civil war here. I think giving them a law before that actually helped us out quite a bit there as well. We got isolated regions. American... Oh yeah, our African colonies, but they're not finished yet. And we also need to work on my infrastructure in several states. Tooling workshops are being finished now. There you go. And then some government administrations again. Let's continue. The grain farm's still crazy. Glass we have, hardwood. Hardwood? I do have hardwood in, I think it was Virginia, right? That we have hardwood? Yep. Let's expand this one by 1. So we boost our hardwood output there a bit. Which is still crazily low. And the war has broken out. Over here. We could wait for them to attack us first. And the Disease Act. The evangelicals in Georgia, led by Charles Finney, are demanding that the government take a stance on prostitution. They request the enforcement of laws that allow police to detain women suspected of being prostitutes in lock hospitals. Enacted. These laws are inhuman, and we're going with that. It's once again the evangelicals, and we are at 20 with them positive, so we can go all the way down to 10, yeah, without any penalties, so it's totally fine. We can wait here now for them to advance, right? Could take forever, because we are 10 and they're only 4, plus we will have the better power anyway. We can check it out, military. They have a total military power of 0. So they're fighting with bows, I think. And whereas we are having a total power with our battalions. I cannot see this right now. Should be able to see this. Of 100. Let's advance. Let's not wait for them. I'm going to advance and go into their territory right away. I mean, they started the war and they're waiting for us now. Incredible. They wanted to end. Alright, we also need to check out some more building again. It's a bit tricky deciding where we should go next, as I don't really have the best tech yet. Probably going with more... I could go with more steel and then tools down the road. We could also go with more shipyards now. Fabric is looking fantastic, by the way. So let's build us another shipyard in Massachusetts where we have the highest boost. This will give me more clippers, and with that the whaling industry. Let's have one in Massachusetts too. And the other one was the tools. Let's have one in Nebraska too. There is a protected income. And it's looking very good there on the tools. So let's go ahead with another one. In Wyoming. We don't have anything in Wyoming yet, so that's going to be great. And as we can see, we're already winning here. Even if we're 1, 2, 3, we're still winning because they have way inferior tech, right? So we just have all the advancement of modern cannons and infantry, and are winning this one easily without many losses. As we can see, we're moving now into that territory already. So there's 2 fronts now. We're moving into the east and the west at the same time. Also here, some fighting now. They don't even have an animation, because I think there's nothing to fight against anyway. That's going to be easy. Also, the slavery checkpoint is now coming up again. I'm just hoping for the best once more. While we're also quickly taking over the whole terrain there. This is going to be interesting, by the way. So we're going deep into Canada there. Future Canada, which is still the Hudson Bay Company. Ah, and there it is. We have banned slavery. And the slave owners was completed as well. The quest that was close to that, right? So slavery is banned. The intelligentsia liked it a lot. So we are getting endorsements now from several political factions. And also unlocks multiple new laws that we can now enact. Whew, that was pretty important now. This is also changing my workforce up a bit because we no longer have slaves, right? So as history demands, most of them continue to work on farms and plantations, but not as slaves anymore, but as workers now. I think it doesn't really change that much with the laborers, as the slaves are just being transformed to laborers. But we see more movement now throughout the states because the slaves are no longer owned, but are individuals that can travel themselves if they want to. Alright, that is the slavery debate. With that, we have now finished it, and we now need to keep it active for 10 years. So there is also no radicalization anymore on their part, right? They're neutral now, actually. They have lost their major political power with that, because their slavery was their major power. We can stop suppressing them and get a lot of authority back. And I would like to use this authority right away. Nationalism is also there. Another 10% authority. I'll take it. And I would like to use this to tax services again, right? We had stopped on this for the slavery, and I can enact it once more. This is 28,000 that I get in addition into my expand. Oh, look at that. We're at 43 now even. The People's Party has also been founded by the rural folk. So this is a new party for the government that we can check out. That's them. And I think they're rather conservative, right? Pacifist they are, agrarian. And they're also pro-expansion of my colonies. By the way, legitimacy, we should check it out. We are very low on that. I think I'm going to throw out the religious. Yep, this is boosting me already. Rural folk is not doing much. Industrialist is also not doing much. I would like to have them in there, actually. Rifles have been unlocked. Actually that's it. 66% chance. Trade unions. Could also... Ah, the trade unions, alright. They want to join the Whig Party. So with that, we have a coming together here. They're also anti-slavery. Let's go ahead. This is a nice one. And we also have now the chance of enacting a health system for the first time. Only a very low chance though. But we don't really have a lot of opposition. There's actually a good chance that this could work. Next for the research, the water tube boiler for sure. Why is that? Because it gives me the water tube boiler for my manufacturing and also for my mines. And as we can see here, this is increasing my tool consumption a bit for with the mines. And for the factories, it is consuming my coal consumption a bit. But it is giving me a tremendous boost in output, right? So we can boost our buildings without building anything new really, by just changing the production value overall and thus getting it in. It's going to take a while though, 10 to 16 months now based on our innovative level. This war here should also be won by now. So I don't see a lot of... Yeah, it's a negative 100 now, so they should give up any second. There it is, capitulation, and we have taken over American Saskatchewan. Oh, very good postal savings, maximum cash reserves, and also leads to the mutual funds. 10% minting boost out of the gold mines. American Alberta, there it is. We are going deep north here at the moment. That is totally unexpected, to be honest. There is still this little patch that we haven't colonized yet, and we're also still colonizing this area there. But that's looking good. With my income, of course, the first thing that I would like to do is boost my construction sector once more. Wherever we have good amount of infrastructure, I would like to do this. So in Mississippi, I can go with a level 2. In Arkansas, we should go with 1. And in Louisiana, I'm also going with 1. This is 3 more. This will already be 15,000 more. Let's still go with 1 more in New Hampshire. Up there, I don't have one yet. Another construction sector. Now, another very important thing to consider is our radicalization. It dropped now significantly thanks to the whole conflict with the slavery being gone now, and there's no more radicalization. That's okay. But we can further make our people happy and also wealthier by providing, for example, better goods or more goods of the same thing. So clothes, for example, is really red here, and this leads to a relatively high price. Let's see if we can have some import routes that would be productive. So the Portuguese market here, for example, there would be an import of 15 of that. So let's go ahead with this and start importing some of that. And as we can see, just minor, but still there, the price for clothes is dropping now because we are having an input here from the trade routes. We can also check out if we have too much of exporting for any goods. So fabric, okay. We have 800 fabric, by the way, on the American market right now. So we could, for example, also see if we want to have an export of fabric. We would, right? So the French would need 1,000 of that. The trade route, the trade revenue would be 6,000 from that. The British market would like to, the Mexican market, that would be 1,000 at least. So let's go ahead and export some of that fabric here to the Mexicans. Oh, the election is over too. And I would also just occasionally like to check where we are exporting a bit too much, perhaps of some things. Artillery, the clippers, but I cannot change these. Hardwood, I also cannot do this. Tools, nope, and fertilizers, nope. So we're going to keep this one here. 72% legitimacy for the Whig Party. We could try and get some other parties in. The rural folk is not really working. The Democrats will not work together with them. Let's reset this. And as we can see also here, there's a block forming. The industrialists, the armed forces, and the planters. They're going to create probably a party soon. But that's that. 72% chance is still fine. Oh, okay. Our efforts to remove the Cherokee from eastern lands has led to deaths of many. The Indian removal once again. And a donation of knowledge. Cornelius Vanderbilt. Oh, also, I think the Indian removal is complete. I think we have done it. Personal wealth to fund the creation of a university in Alabama. Alabama doesn't have a university yet. And this is a pretty good event for us because this one gives me a university. It also boosts the industrialists for that. So let's go ahead and we get an instant university in Alabama. This is really good. I think, is it incorporated? Yes, it is. So it's a perfect state really forming. We have a lot of infrastructure here. And the university is giving me a lot of qualification and innovation especially, so boosting my research. Alright, the other event was the clearing of the east. The removal of the Cherokee is complete. And with that, armed forces getting an interest. I don't know why the armed forces would get one. Doesn't matter. We are at 85 construction capacity now, so we have finished some more construction sectors. This will inevitably also boost my wool consumption again. And my iron consumption. So it's still looking good though. Wood, probably we need to do something here. Paper is that. Iron. Oh, iron is deep red. We're building some more iron mines. That is fine. Since we have the coin, we should boost my military a bit further. And of course, we are continuing here in the upper eastern side of my territory. So we got lots of territory here where I don't have any barracks yet, but we have the infrastructure. So let's go ahead and build 4 more. And I would also like to expand my naval forces. So we do have already in Massachusetts a really big one, naval force. In Connecticut, there's the infrastructure is not that great. New York, of course, still has it. So there's 2 more here. 1 more up here, and let's make it 2 here so that we get the naval forces in. The naval forces will be able to transport troops then to other territories as well. But of course, my primary goal here right now is to boost my military forces for this headquarter here, so we get this. Very important to know, if you want to transport troops to other areas, like down here, South America, where we are going at some point, we do need to have the Navy in the same headquarter, right? So Isaac Hull, for example, has 25 ships, which is a lot. He can transport a lot of troops. And in that case here, they need to be in the Midwest, what is it? My Dixie headquarter. Right, so that's the important thing here to know. Alright, it's looking not that bad. We got lots of bureaucracy now, thanks to having my government administration active. The construction sector costs me 64,000 by now, but we're still making a profit here, thanks to the tariffs and the minting now, because the gold mines are working now in the west. And of course, we still continue there as well with some more colonization. So there is the last spot now being taken. There you go. And with that, we've also finished Montana, which is now completed colonization. Already having a government administration here. I would like to build also a few more government administrations now, where we don't have one yet. So all the way down here in West Virginia, Delaware, a second one, and perhaps a third one, Wisconsin's. And do we have a low taxation capacity in New York? So let's go ahead and have another one in New York. Reason for that is New York is pretty big already. It's growing also thanks to the city. And with that, it has 2 million people living in it. They also need to be taxed. Taxation capacity right now has been reached. It's not overreached yet, but it is already hurting us a bit. So I want to have a bit more in it. For that. Also, we have the Niagara Falls here. Electricity will be very good. Didn't know this. Alright. And there it is. That was actually really quick now. The water tube boiler. I think because we finished the university in Alabama, we sped it up here. So the mines, I need to check the paper mills and the steel mills then for sure. Let's go ahead with the next stuff that we can do. Nitroglycerine. This gives me a resource discovery chance of 25%. It also gives me the nitroglycerin that we can use in iron mines, for example, in all the mines basically. It will lead to a higher mortality of the workforce, but it will lead to a higher output as well. I'm still not entirely sure. Probably going for something else. Yes, this is actually pretty good. The mechanized workshop gives me some very good upgrades to the textile mills, so we have a higher output of furniture and clothes. Let's go ahead. It also only takes 2 years to research. That is that. And now I need to think again what I wanted actually before that. Yeah, I wanted to have a look at the new tech that we can now use for our buildings. Right, so we do have it now for the mines especially here. So there we have it, the condensing engine pump. It needs more tools and more coal, but it will lead to a much higher output for the basic goods. The same goes with the coal. I think we don't have really a coal or iron problem. Not yet. I mean, iron, this would actually be good. I think for the iron mines we could do it. So the tool consumption is worrying me a bit there. But it will lead to 580 more iron. So let's unlock it for the coal mines and for the iron mines at least, right? It will of course lead to a higher tools consumption, So we will need to have a bit more steel mills and a bit more tool workshops then again. But we have more iron and more coal, so we don't need to build mines all the time. Because I really want to focus on other buildings then as well, right? So for steel, I think steel is looking still really good. Yep, at 100. Very good. And the tools. Tools is probably what we need to boost now a bit. Check it out again. In Louisiana, we do have the infrastructure, so let's build 2 of them in Louisiana. Virginia is not looking good. Productivity in the more modernized states would be good, but I think the infrastructure is really lacking now. Also, we don't have that many people there anymore. 1 in Indiana, that's fine. So 3 more. And then there's the clothing, right? So right now we do lack clothes, so we should build up that industry also a bit. We got a nice projected income out of these factories. So this is the tax income that we can generate out of these factories once finished. And let's just check it out. In Florida, we have no infrastructure for that at all at the moment, it seems. Only in the 3 upper areas once again. Louisiana would have a good projected income and a lot of infrastructure still. So we could build up a clothing industry in Louisiana. And probably also, no, let's actually do it in Louisiana 3. I think 4 should be fine. Let's do 4. This will strain Louisiana a bit, so it will there will be a huge shortage of workers, but it is getting ironed out as migration ramps up then for it. Now, hooray, also one thing that we can do thanks to intelligentsia, we can now start the enactment of the propertied women for the law, which is now the first step towards equalization of women, right? So whether inherited or otherwise earned, even women have the right and duty to own and cherish their possessions. This one gives me also a 5% workforce increase. And in that case, 35% would enact it. Who would actually be against it? Of course, the Southern planters, but they're already pretty weak at 6% only. It will further radicalize them, but I'm not expecting that much. Let's start the enactment of this one. It's going to take a while, right? It's not going to be a quick success here. And I think also, once again, intelligentsia will like us because of that, and the trade union also now. Very good. The other ones don't care, right? The industrialists and stuff like that. We're also in the process of building up my infrastructure for military usage once more. So the barracks and the naval bases are being finished now. This will be very important for us and for the next steps that I want to take. Then some government administration. We are already at 127, and I would like to use this too to continue incorporating states now into my territory. Because as we can see, we still have a lot of states that are not incorporated yet. So don't forget, incorporated states don't really pay any taxes to us. So the more we have of them, the better. But it is costing me bureaucracy for each state that we have. So Iowa, for sure, we already have some pretty hefty industry there. We want to get this. Montana is also getting more in, right? Minnesota, that's 34 bureaucracy. And Florida, 31, right? So Florida is not in our area yet. So we should definitely do something. But Florida also doesn't have an industry that we might do something here. Because we don't have any building here, it's only 200,000 people living in it. So Florida is really bad right now when it comes to that. They would have a nice sulfur mine bonus though. But they don't have any sulfur mines. As far as I can see, we cannot even build sulfur mines here. So this is a rare, strange thing that we have there. I think fish is actually something that is lacking a bit. So we do need it for the cannery. So let's go ahead and build some 2 fishing wharfs here. Right, the clippers should be better now. Yes, they are. At least that. Let's also build some 2 livestock ranches and some 2 cotton plantations for the fabric production. And sugar-wise, we're fine. Just so that Florida starts getting some stuff in, right? Because it's still pretty low there. And we want to, of course, have several strong states rather than a few. Okay, also taxes are exploding right now. That's because we have more urban centers thanks to having more factories. Urban centers produce services, and we do get a lot of taxes out of the services. And we're also getting a lot of income tax here now, so for the factories and the workers. So that's where factories are really pushing in, right? Because they pay us so much, they create urban centers, and also they pay taxes themselves, and the urban centers then also pay taxes. So that's quite nice. Now, we don't really have a food industry yet. And food industry is pretty important for grocery and liquor. We don't have any of that really on the market. It is consuming some grain though and sugar, and we have that. So we should also start by building up a grocery industry. We have a smaller one in Kentucky right now and in Tennessee. I wonder what groceries we produce in Kentucky. I think it's something to do with chickens, right? And we have a lot of that here. So I could, since we already have some qualified workforce there, I could just expand it. Let's do this. One in Kentucky and one in Tennessee. We have the infrastructure too. So these are already profiting from that. Realism, some prestige. 5% prestige. Where is it? Food industry. Can we do anything here? For more glass we could produce more liquor. I'm not doing this. And the canneries. I haven't activated them yet. That's a very good thing. Let's go with the canneries in Kentucky. There you go. It also boosted the income significantly. Why is that? Because we now produce way more groceries and way more liquor. And it consumes the sugar that we have, the fish, the grain is actually reduced. So we have more grain on the market again. And iron. And iron we have plenty of. So that was actually a pretty good one. That boost. Yeah, we can also see the standard of living slowly but steadily is rising in the US. Of course, as more and more people have better equipped jobs. Alright, also checkpoint for my propertied women. An influential faction within the armed forces has grown frustrated with their co-members' neutrality on the topic of propertied women. Themselves in favor of the law, they have now resolved to form a separate political faction. With their support, the bill shall pass. The armed forces get a bit weaker, but we get a 15% enactment chance. This is not so bad. Let's go ahead with this. Right, so we're at 50% now. So there's a pretty high chance that this actually gets enacted now in the next checkpoint. But even then, it's just going to be a matter of time. So it's definitely not going to be pushed down anymore. Colonization, the next step over here has been finished. Slowly but steadily. It's also coming to an end then here, by the way. Right, this one here we cannot reach because it's in Columbia district. Also logistics, the greatest guns in the world don't matter in the slightest if the soldiers equipped with them are too exhausted and hungry to aim, or if the guns themselves have no bullets chambered in them. This gives me some more battalions, some constrictable battalions. It also leads to triage. That is going to help. And by the way, we should have finished now our barracks. Can we recruit more soldiers, more generals? No, the existing general here is very good. So he has 12 himself. We got 20 now. And, oh, the existing admiral is also very strong. Isaac Hall, right? And we can have more 5 flotillas in Dixie. So let's go ahead with this. And I think private maneuvers, explorer. Yeah, go with Matthew Perry. They're both of the armed forces. So that is a second navy that I'm building up here now. So we got 20 soldiers and 35. And just as a smaller glimpse into what next episode we have, Mexico has 32 battalions. But I think they're not that strong in comparison to us, right? Only 12 in total they can use. This menu is a bit tricky sometimes. You cannot get to the other side there. I know they're weaker though, military-wise. And this is going to be important in the future now. Stay tuned.